What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1.
and I hope he's okay, because if he's not, I'm not going to help him, even though he may be just across the table or maybe light years away. You guys will never know because of the editing.
Right, exactly. Like, we look like we're in the same room, but are we in the same room? And are we even real? Or are we just AI
What is it, like
creations?
VTubers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we might be.
Yeah. And thanks for coming here and enjoying For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. Now, normally it's 40K questions, but if you guys want to ask us questions about anything, you can. If you guys do want to ask us a question, put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. Also, if you want your question guaranteed answered, because it's so like important that you need to know the answer to next week, make sure to hit us up with a super thanks. Super thanks is a way to support the channel, but also a way to get your question answered. So we appreciate all the super thanks. We got a lot in this past video.
That's right.
So let's start off with the first one.
The super thanks question is by Carrie Vogt. Do you guys think that someone in the current 40K timeline saw a Star Wars movie and wondered, why the hell don't we have lightsabers yet?
For sure. Why aren't there any lightsabers in 40K? And the answer to that is IP issues.
Yeah. Clearly, there are lightsabers in other franchises, but they got to call them like sabers of light.
Yeah.
Something else that's not lightsabers. The closest thing they have in 40K to this is the power sword.
Oh, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Because when you think about it, well, here's the thing. They might have had lightsabers in 40K because we don't know what other human civilizations, such as like the Interrex, had. Because we do see like they go to like museums that has just like a vast armory and stuff like that. So there could be lightsabers there. And it could be something that they had during the golden age of technology, with like STCs and stuff like that. But when you think about it logically, wouldn't it be better to have a sword that can essentially use some type of power source to cut through anything, like a lightsaber? But if somehow you run out of that source, you still have a sword.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think that seems to be more maneuverable, because you do have a sword that you can use as just like anything, a can opener or anything. You can't do that with a lightsaber.
Right.
Not that you would, because like their whole thing is like monks and they're supposed to respect the sword and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so the reason that power swords are basically the 40K version of the lightsaber. But also, I think the lightsaber is very clean, right? Like it's like it cuts through anything. It makes sense in terms of like sci-fi universe, right?
And that just shows you the iconicness of like Star Wars, clean robes, lightsabers. And then you have the grim dark 40K universe with chain swords, thunder hammers, stuff like that.
It's grim dark, it's nasty, it's brutal. It's like you're not slicing through somebody cleanly. You are sawing through their bodies with a chain axe or a chain sword.
Yeah.
So it's
a chain fist.
It's very 40K, very brutal, very like, ugh, I don't want to be killed in the 40K universe. Whereas in Star Wars, it's almost like, I mean, what's his name? Obi-Wan Kenobi, like basically just turned into nothing when he got hit with the lightsaber. So
yeah, well, that's because he was training in like that type of force ghostness.
But even that's just one of those examples of just like the death of somebody in Star Wars compared to the death of somebody in 40K is not the same thing.
Right. You can get cut in half in Star Wars and survive because you're angry.
Right.
And you can get cut in half in 40K, and they won't stop there. They'll keep cutting you.
Exactly, yeah. And you won't die. You'll be put into a death...
Yeah, a sarcophagus.
Something. A dreadnought.
A dreadnought, yeah.
Good question.
Very spicy. Let's continue with these super thanks. This next one is by Ninja Squirrels. What do you guys get when you pinch a ghost in the ass? And why is it a handful of sheet?
That's a really good question.
That's a knee slapper.
Yeah. So I guess you answered your own question. Let's talk a little bit about warp ghosts. Warp ghosts are scary things. They are entities of the warp that kind of just inhabit the ash wastes, I think it's called, or something like the formless wastes, something like that. And they haunt ships. They try to coerce people into jumping out of ships, but they're not demons.
No,
they're entities. It's scary. Thanks for that question, though, man.
Yeah. This next super thanks is by Parasympathetic. Thanks, hermanos. Love the content.
De nada.
Gracias.
We appreciate all of our Spanish-speaking viewers, and we do get a lot of those comments of like, "Cool, it's nice to see not your typical 40K goers doing YouTube stuff." So yeah, we've been playing since we were children. Next question comes from Irish Monster 13. He asks, "Do any chapters treat their serfs well, like feed them enough and show respect? What chapter treats them the best, and what chapter treats them the worst?" The worst is the Black Templars.
Yeah, I was about to say. They don't care about them. They literally would walk right over you, trample you to death, and keep walking and won't even care. Won't even give you a second thought.
Yep. These are chapter serfs, so they're individuals that most of the time tried to go through the initiation process and didn't die, but they're still there.
Yeah, they either get like disfigured, maimed, maybe have like a brain injury where they can't function. So they're just there to kind of help the Space Marine take off the armor, clean the weapons, that type of stuff.
Exactly, yeah. And then which chapter respects them? I think it's an Imperial Fist successor chapter. Is it the Lamenters?
I thought it was going to be like the Ultramarines.
The Ultramarines do treat them pretty well, yeah.
And the Salamanders.
Salamanders also treat them pretty well. So there's actually a lot. But there's one specific successor chapter of either the Ultramarines or the Iron Fists, or the Imperial Fists, that they treat them really, really, really well. I don't want to say they're yellow, which just makes sense to be the Lamenters, but I'm not too sure. Good question.
Yeah.
Those are all of our super things,
No, we've
right?
got two more.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. This next one's by Richard Lee, and he says, "Thanks."
No problem, man.
Yeah, thank you. And the last one is quite the question from Sandemon. As we all know, Mark Zuckerberg is a reptile, right? He's basically a slan. So does that mean that the webway is essentially Facebook?
Well, we kind of talked about this either in last for the Greater WAAAGH. He might be a man of gold.
Yeah. A subspecies of humanity that said, "I'm going to join you, Emperor, and I'll help watch humanity and guide them."
And you might be saying like, "Oh, but Facebook didn't push humanity any type of direction. Like, if anything, it made it weaker." I think it's just highlighting our stupidity, right? Like, especially when you get on Facebook and you read an article and you're like, "That has to be true." Like with the whole like fake
news
and
all that
stuff
stuff.
like that. Yeah. Or like misinformation. People are gullible. People are gonna like be susceptible to this type of information, and they're not gonna step back and realize that like, oh no, there's a bigger picture.
Yeah.
And that bigger picture is not. I think it's easy for people to have that tendency of like, oh, it's bad. Like the universe is out to get you. The universe doesn't care about you. People don't care about you. You are insignificant, and all they're trying to do is better themselves. So then you have to put yourself in those shoes. They don't have some secret satanic cult. They don't have some secret lizard empire. They're just trying to fill their pockets, which might be as bad.
That's true. That is true.
So yes, he is a man of something. Now we move on to the not greater or the not super things.
Right. This one is by Schmoofen Derschmidt. Can we get more pointless questions? That's up to you guys.
Yeah.
Keep them coming. But when you think about it, when you ask a question about a made-up fictional universe that people came up with 30 years ago, they're all kind of pointless.
For sure, especially when you start meeting other people that are not into the hobby, and then like, so for us, we tell them, it's a side hobby that we do where we talk about this fictional universe, and they watch one of our videos and they look at us like, "Are you guys speaking English?"
Yeah, Roboot Gilliman. What does that even mean?
Imperial fists, warp drives, like yeah.
Orcs? No, those are goblins from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
or trolls.
So yeah, it's all pointless.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're going to die, and all we're going to leave behind is a bunch of unpainted plastic.
Don't lie to yourselves. You guys have unpainted minis, too.
Yeah. Just sell them on eBay. Speaking of pointless questions, let's do DT. He asks, when will you do a smash or pass tier list on the 40K races? Let's do it right now.
The orcs.
So
Smash.
Do you want to do that? I think the orc race would be a really good like dom race if they're just like beating you with sticks and stuff. So if you're into that,
I really hope they bring squigs.
Yeah, hair squigs specifically, because I shave down there and sometimes I want hair. But it's too late because the nair's already on. Eldar,
Smash.
Definitely smash.
Yeah, all of them. What are they called? Craft Worlds, Inari. a Yanden, any craft world out there.
Dinosaurs.
Bring the dinosaurs too, the hairy ones, because
Mm-hmm.
I hear you don't have hair down there, and because of the Nair is too late.
Right, yeah. Humanity.
Smash.
Regular, like, yeah, Smash.
Yeah. Even
Especially Sisters of Battle. Oof.
Yeah. Space Marines. Adeptus Custodes.
Sisters of Silence, they don't speak. And then moving on to...
You know, Sisters of Silence are kind of bald, but
Yeah.
they have the ponytail.
That's where you grab.
And then you could use that hair down there, because I hear you use Nair and you don't have hair and you wanted to see what it's like.
Cut it off, put it down there, yeah.
Necrons? Smash.
Smash, yeah. Because they're robots. It's basically just having like a... What is that called? The thing that jerks you off.
A robot?
No, a vacuum.
Ah,
It's
okay.
like having a vacuum on your... But it's called a wraith.
There you go. And they could phase through like materials.
Phase through this.
Like, whoa, there's not hair anymore. I don't need to phase through it.
Nids.
Yeah, Smash.
It's definitely Smash.
Yeah.
So many holes. You just put them in all of them.
The scything talons, toxin sacks.
That screams sex club.
Yeah. Chaos. Smash.
Smash. Yeah. Pointy bits. I love that kind of stuff. And plus, you get 4 varieties, so it's all kinkiness, right?
And even if you don't like variety, just go generic.
It's Laneige.
Well, I was going
Or
to say undivided.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I feel like Tau.
The Tau. Smash.
Of course,
Yeah.
Earthcast.
They don't have hair unless they have hair sometimes.
They have a slit on.
A slit on their face. Some of them have nose, some of them don't. Some of them didn't have a nose, then they do, then they don't.
Yep.
Smash.
Smash, definitely Smash. And then I think that's it.
Yeah. Everything in 40K. Smash.
Yeah. 40K itself.
Smash.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just get 2 codices and smash.
Wrap them up.
Yeah.
Put some, what is it called? Paper towels around it. And those are the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for asking, and we'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah. Thanks for more pointless questions, guys. This has been the Sound Alchemist.
Gershwan.
And smash.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.